horrific.
Hey guys, welcome to the Set Sail video blog. And last week we did a video all about the gear that you need to start recording music at home. Today we're going to do like a follow-up video to that, which is digging more into the process of actually recording and how you do it. So I'm here again with Philip Shibata and Dan Stirling, .co.uk. Philip, do you want to share a bit of your journey of like...
I think my mom was a big... she inspired me a lot. She was telling me like, great musicians are all out there, you know, they're great, but we need great, you know, worshippers, and that kind of hit my heart always. And even though I was like a bit rebellious in the church, I was like, Mom, what are you talking about? It's worship, you know. But yeah, I mean that really hit my heart, and so yeah, I'm here to learn and to teach too, and to just to give what I can give and to serve where the Lord wants us to serve.
Awesome. And you also just got a new YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, I did.
The worship blog.
Yeah, I am.
Which I don't know how you managed to get that name.
I have no idea. Nobody took it. So so I took the worship blog, and it's gonna be it's gonna be more about, obviously, about worship, and it's gonna be more about the work that I'm gonna be doing, and and then also like I think it's kind of similar to yours. Nothing to go against it, but like competition or anything. But I mean, really, like I think God is such a creative God, you know, and I think from every perspective anybody could learn God's perspective, you know. So I hope this worship blog will be all about Him, what He's doing in my life, through music and through creative art and through spiritual worship too, and and see where it's gonna go.
That's awesome. And Dan, do you want to share a bit of your like journey of getting into full-time producing as well?
So kind of grew up in a musical family, and my dad writes songs for the church that he goes to. He's like the worship director there. Got into writing my own songs and recording my dad's songs, recording my songs, and then I kind of had this job in an office, but I felt like God was calling me to do some more professional training in sound. So I went to the School of Sound Recording in Manchester.
Nice.
Did a course there. I just felt like God say that I should get in touch with Christian bands if I wanted to work with Christian bands. And so I did. I just started cold calling people that I thought were cool. And just sort of said, hey, I'm still learning how to record, but I've got a really nice desk here and a really good mics. And just through that, built up contacts. And then when I graduated, I got some freelance opportunities, significantly with Innovation Trust, who've been doing like musical evangelism in schools for years now. And so kind of quit the job and started working with them. And then started working with you guys really, 2014, amidst All Things New. And people, quite a few people like that, and so because of that, people started to ask me to work with them a bit more until it got to the point where I had to go freelance again. So I still do stuff with Innovation, but also I'm most of the time doing records for people now.
Sweet.
Recording and mixing. So
good stuff. So we had some questions come through online about how do we record our albums, and not just the gear but also like making it and that kind of stuff. Where would you say is like the starting point for once you've got all the gear and you're going to hit record? What do you do first?
I think the first thing you need is a decent demo. You don't want to be coming up with ideas, certainly not wanting to change the structure as you record, if you can help it. And then when you're recording, again it depends on the music, but what I like to do is I like the sound of a band that's got a bit of a live feel to it. I don't like it to sound too clinical. So for me that means I record the drums with at least a guide guitar and vocal, or piano and vocal depending on the music. The reason for that is rather than having just the drummer playing to a click or playing to a pre-recorded backing track, if they're actually playing with a person and you're responding to each other, then that's a really good starting place. So I'd start there.
Which is what we did on Eternal Sun, right? So we had like Kalani in the booth doing his drum thing, and then we had bass as well, right?
Bass actually. On that one.
So I was like in the mix room with an acoustic and a mic, like singing the songs while Kalani was playing.
You play live together, you rehearse together, so it kind of makes sense to start in the studio together as well. To me anyway. The thing I've learned after that is once you've got your drums, to make sure you get all the best takes, do all your editing and stuff on that before you start recording anything else. Because if you're playing to wonky drums, then everyone's playing to the wonky drums, and then you've either got to fix everything afterwards, or the music's just not going to gel quite right.
Yeah.
So I'd say make those decisions beforehand,
Uh-huh.
then bring the rest of the band in.
Yeah. So like, if you're going to record vocals, what would be like a good way of setting up the environment to do that?
Basically, it's really easy to add reverb and things to a voice afterwards.
Yeah.
It's basically impossible to take a room tone out.
Yeah.
You want to try and again get some quilts or something like that, a couple of mattresses maybe in the corner of a room, to just try and eliminate that room sound, so you've got more control over what you're recording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can add the reverb and nice stuff later.
Totally, yeah. Especially if it's Rivers and Robots, like
Yeah. 10 layers of reverb.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I guess the other thing would be to stand 6 inches, 15 centimeters away from the mic as a starting point.
Yeah.
And then just see how it sounds. And sometimes if you're like doing a quieter part of the song, you might want to go in a bit closer and it sounds a bit more intimate. If you're really belting it out, you might need to just stand back a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that technique I was always wondering, because some artists or musicians, you see them like kind of in the mic, they sing this way.
Oh, right.
I mean, is that good for the mic? I mean, how should a recording or a recorder advise the singer to sing properly so that the after work won't be too much?
Well, I guess, I mean, I don't know, you'd have to be in that situation, but I imagine if you're singing like that away from the mic, you might hear more of the room than the voice. So I would, if you're going to back off, just back off, but still be facing the mic, I guess.
Okay, so it's best that the singer
probably
does it itself, or himself or herself, instead of you just using compression or...
Yeah, it's a taste thing, but
yeah,
for me, I'd rather have the dynamics coming from the performance, I guess. So I like the sound of someone backing off and singing louder. It just feels like they're really giving it their all when they do it that way. If you're just staying in one place and it's static and you're worried about it distorting or being too quiet at the other end, then you're going to get a bit of a reserved kind of performance, I guess. And you might be able to compress it so that the level's even throughout, but it's not going to sound it might not sound as exciting to listen to.
Yeah.
I guess that's why it's nice to have a second person in the room as well,
to
say, you don't sound like you mean what you're singing right now, or you...
Yeah, I do really appreciate it, like when we're doing vocals on our stuff, because like I'll sing something and you'll notice something that I didn't notice singing it, and be like, just do that bit again.
And again, it's a balance between being accurate but also getting the feel across, because that's what actually is going to captivate people. If it's you
don't be thinking so much about technique that you're not putting anything into what you're singing. So once you've got like your drums down and your main rhythm stuff, how would you then order like instruments and vocals and all that kind of stuff?
My next thing would be bass. There's a really tight relationship between drums and bass.
Yeah.
And I would still have the guide tracks in at this point. So so that'd be my next thing. And I guess you're building up that rhythm section and the kind of groove that everything else is going to rest on.
Yeah.
So then my next thing would be probably rhythm guitars, whether it's strumming acoustics or it might be keys if it's a key-based album.
Yeah.
I'd get all that done next, and then start thinking about like lead instruments, lead guitars, and parts. And again, really helpful to have the guide vocal in at that point, because you don't want to have a lead guitar that's getting in the way of the vocal.
Yeah, I've always had an issue like with because you pick. There's a certain genre and a certain taste that you have, and some people gave me an advice to just listen to that song and then listen to yours and then up your bass or not, but that's before mixing and everything. So it's like, or is it during mixing that you do that, or when do you actually do the whole like, okay, listen to this song and then that song?
If I'm recording a song and I feel like it reminds me of another sort of production, I might go reference that and just think, what have they got? And then like I might notice, they've got a nice little wah guitar lead part, and so then maybe we'll do something similar. You don't want to copy people, but it might just inspire you on the production side of it. But when you're talking about levels of bass and things like that, that's more the mixing side of things.
Like I did one recording once when I was 18, and we didn't have money, so we were like, okay, we're gonna do the whole thing on that day, and so we did like a whole 11 hours or something, and you can hear near the end we were like so tired.
Yeah, that's the thing. And near the end, that's probably when you want to do your vocals, and then you just have a really tired vocal.
Exactly.
Just don't bother with the last chorus. It's like,
just copy the one that I did. I've always had an idea of like how it will be like. So like one song, the voice is like louder, and then the next song is like a little bit lower.
Oh, song to
song too.
Right,
like,
right.
Is consistency something that is professional, or is it like more style?
So song to song, and I guess we're almost getting into mastering with that.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
And that's cool. For me, for an album, you want it to have a kind of a consistent sound across the album. But that doesn't mean that everything is exactly the same. So if you have like a really loud song followed by a really quiet ballad, and on the ballad it's just you and the acoustic guitar, if you and the acoustic guitar are as loud as the full band was on the last song, that's going to sound weird, and it'll probably give you a headache to get get the levels up to that.
That's one of those like interesting balances to find all the time, isn't it? Like how much to keep the dynamic. So it does feel like loud and quiet in the right places, but not so much that you're always like because you get those tracks where it's all like you see like the waveform on SoundCloud or whatever, it's just like a block because everything's just like no. We're definitely stuff, especially Rivers and Robots stuff, we've kept it very dynamic on purpose.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And actually it's interesting it's interesting to me anyway. But like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube now, they're all level matching everyone's song. So if you have a song that on CD is really loud compared to one that's a lot quieter, then you'll notice a difference. But if you're listening to it on Spotify, you put those two songs together, the volume will be the same, but one will just sound really squashed and the other one will sound more dynamic and lively. 10 years ago, like some songs you'd hit the chorus and it'd be quieter than the verse. Yeah. Because everything comes in and it's just like...
Okay guys, so thank you for watching the video. Hope you found that helpful to learn a bit about the gear and recording process of how to make music at home. Thank you to Philip and Dan for sharing their wisdom and make sure you follow the Worship blog on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
And Instagram and other things?
Yeah, Instagram too.
Okay, links to that will be in the description, and danstirling.co.uk, and Instagram and all that stuff.
Stirling is spelled with an I.
Yes. So if you ever want to, come to Manchester and record an album, Dan's your man. Thank you guys for watching, and we will be back with another set sail video next Friday.